Hello everybody, today I'm at Home Depot. Why? Because I really don't like Lowe's. They're just way overpriced. But today I'm going to talk about drywall. I'm going to talk about how much I spend on the actual product, and I'm going to talk about how much I spend on labor with all the finishing touches so the ADU can be move-in ready. Let's find out.
The drywall installation has been completed. The inspector wanted to see the way the drywall was installed because it has to be installed in a specific way. So you are going to have an inspection for your drywall before it's sealed and before it's finished. So we passed the inspection on this. This is the wall that's sharing with the house. So this wall has to be Type X fire code. So we installed Type X fire code on this wall, and everything else is just standard 1/2 inch drywall. Type X is a bit more expensive. I think it's like 15, 17 bucks a sheet, and the 1/2 inch is about 11 bucks a sheet. Overall, I bought for this type of ADU, this is a 19 by 20. I bought about 35 sheets of drywall. I ended up returning about 6 because these guys, the way they installed it, they cut sections in a specific way to manage and use less drywall. So it worked out. They managed to save me a bit of drywall, and I returned it, got my money back on that, so it's a little bit of a savings.
Before I move on with the video, just remember, I'm a realtor. I help people buy and sell houses. If you really like the content that I'm creating, pass on my number to a friend, a family member, somebody who wants to buy or sell. So that was a process during the construction. I wish I could have done more videos. Right before that video was shot, I got crazy sick. I mean, I was super sick. I couldn't get out of bed. I don't know what it was. It was probably Corona. I don't think it was Corona. I'm good. Nobody else got sick in my house. Back to the video. So yes, so that was during the construction. Everything was being laid out. All the drywall was being installed. The last video, I believe, everything was already done. And now this is 100% the finished product. I'm gonna cover the prices and what it takes to get your ADU looking like this. I'm sorry about the video, I don't have a microphone. I'm using a GoPro. It is what it is. I want to order a microphone, but I just don't have the time. Okay, so the drywall was about 500 bucks. I got all the drywall at Home Depot, all the screws, all the paste, all the metal railings, everything's at Home Depot. It was roughly $500. All the materials, it was about 400 bucks. That includes the paste, the metals, the screws, and just very little things that I needed to buy for the guys to do their work. The labor, I got a bundle deal with this guy. I kind of got a package with him. I told him what I was doing. Initially I hired him to do the outside, to do the stucco wall, to cover the garage, where the garage door was. I ended up going with smooth stucco, so the price was a little bit of a premium price because it's a different finish. It's a nicer finish. We were just talking about drywall, and he said, I can do the drywall for you. Out of curiosity, I told him, I already have somebody else lined up. I didn't really interview a lot of people for drywall. I interviewed one guy. I knew I was gonna do the work with him because he hooked me up with the framer. If you've seen my last videos, the framer didn't really work out. So I didn't really want to do the work with this guy, but he quoted me $4,000 for the drywall. That was just including drywall. That was just putting on the drywall, finishing it up, and making it look like this. He wanted $4,000. Drywall's expensive, so I knew he was a little bit on the high side. Something like this would cost about $3,000. So $4,000, he did hook me up. I was just going to give him the job and take a $1,000 hit because he did help me out. Anyways, first guy he hooked me up with didn't work out, so I didn't want to work with him as well. Going back to the stucco guy, he did the drywall, and I asked him, how much would you charge me to do the drywall? He gave me a price, but he said, I'll give you this price, but I'll finish the project for you. I'll do the drywall, I'll install the floors, I'll install the trim, I'll install all the doors. And putting it together, I already knew that I had to do the floor, I had to do everything else. So by him giving me a better deal on everything all at once, I was going to save a little bit. Just for his labor, drywall, the floors, the trim, installing all the doors, it was $3,500. Altogether, including all the materials and his labor, was $5,700 for this. I'm gonna show you right now what I mean by this, but he finished everything for $5,700. The floors I got on my own. If you live in LA, if you live somewhere in West LA, there's a place called Lester Carpet. He gave me the best deal. This is not laminated floors, this is vinyl floors. So that means if I ever have a party, somebody spills some wine, it's there for 24 hours. It's not gonna sink into the cardboard, which is what laminated floors are made out of. This stuff is vinyl. It's a plastic, and the water will just stay on top and not ever go on the bottom because it's not gonna soak in. So this stuff is pretty good. It's a little bit expensive, but I knew I was saving on the labor, so I decided to spend a little bit more on the floors. So what do you get for $3,500 a drywall installation? This is what you get. This is smooth finish. It's not the popcorn style where it's really rough. This is extra smooth. I didn't want to go with the trim around the windows. I wanted to do a low profile. It was a little bit tougher on them to do because it involves more materials and more labor, but he gave me the same deal for this kind of finish. So that's a drywall finish. Once again, this is $3,500. What I know other companies might charge you $7,000, but this guy managed to do all this for $3,500. And he also sealed up the access to the attic. He installed the floors. I have another guy. I was gonna hire him to do the trim, but I just decided to go with this guy since he already had his tools, he had his guys. I might as well let him finish the job. And this is the doors. He installed all the doors for the two closets, 1, 2. He installed all the trim around the doors. He installed all the accessories. He finished up the closets. They're all very nice, very nicely done. All this stuff I bought at Home Depot, all these little things. The doors, there's another place in Northridge called Urban Doors. These things are about $150 a door. They're a little bit on the premium side, they're more expensive, but they look nicer. They just give you that, I just walked into a hotel look. Look at that. And you have the levers instead of the round handles. That also gives it a better look, kind of low profile. So this is what he did for $3,500 in labor, just finish everything up. Once again, low profile on the windows. I didn't want the trim. I just wanted something basic, less to look at. And this is the ADU, almost done. This is a bigger door. This is a 32 by 80. This was, I think, almost 180 or 190 at Urban Doors in Northridge. But take a look at this door, it's pretty cool. And the levers as well. And you finish off the trim all the way around. He didn't have to, but he also installed all the switches to my lights, and he installed some of the LEDs on the ceiling. I told him he didn't have to do it, but he said, you know what the hell, I'm already here. He wired all these up. It was just exposed wires before he finished. He just wanted to deliver a complete setup, so he said, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna wire them up so you have lights going on. I really appreciated that. But yeah, this is what it is. This is the finished product for an ADU. Total cost $5,700. I would add another $300 to that because there's I made a lot of trips to Home Depot, so let's just say $6,000. Let's just say $6,000 on the high end, because I think I did spend just a little bit more doing some Home Depot runs, but $6,000 for all this to be finished, I think that's a pretty good deal. Somebody else is gonna quote you a shitload more than that. On the very next video, I'm gonna talk about the mini split. There's two ways you can do this. You can either do it yourself or you can hire a company. I'm gonna talk about both options. At the same time, I'm gonna talk about a problem I encountered right before my last inspection. if you're like me, if you don't have a general contractor helping you out, you will get stuck. I got stuck, and I'm gonna talk about the problem itself, and I'm gonna talk about the solution. All right, guys, see you guys on the next one.